It's your travel agent David, and we are in not sunny San Francisco. We are in Pier 27 here at the San Francisco Cruise Terminal. So they have a couple different piers here, but we're in 27. So I'm going to show you what 27 looks like from the inside out. And then once we go outside, I'm going to tell you about all the cool things that are within walking distance of the port. So let's go check out the cruise terminal at Pier 27 in San Francisco. So that door right there will take you to the gangway. Right here is going to be your marshalling area where you just sit and wait for your group to be called to get onto the ship. Now what'll happen is you're going to go through and enter down here. You're going to go through security over there. You're going to come check in at any of these many stations right here. And then you'll come sit right over here until it is your time to get onto the ship. Now, if your back is to the cruise terminal, you're going to want to keep going forward. They got drop off basically the whole length of the terminal, but the bag drops down there, and then the cruise terminal entrance is right there. And if you're parking right over here at Pier 31, that building right there is parking. And if you're coming in to the terminal and you're going to be getting an excursion, you're just going to cross the street to right here, and all the excursion buses will be lined up right here for you for your excursion. They did a great job at marking everything here for you. So if you can see right there, the big blue and white entrance sign, terminal entrance, the baggage drop off. So as you make your way down, it's going to keep saying, passenger pickup and drop off 5, 7, 9, 11. Basically, it starts at 1 and it goes every odd number. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and so on. And then your pursers will be here for you to drop off the bags. You'll pick them up inside. I can't get to that area because I'm not coming in as a final destination, so it's closed right now. And then right there, your baggage drop off. Pretty easy to navigate around here. Now, let's go out to the front and I'll show you how to get around some of the cool attractions here that are within walking distance, or relative walking distance from here. So if you're coming in, you'll know what to do. And if you're getting here early, you'll know some of the stuff that you can do around the pier to kind of play in your time. If you're going to park inside, they have a 3-ton limit. Pickup trucks are okay, but as long as it doesn't go over 3 tons, you should be good to go. One thing that I like about this terminal is they are prepared for pedestrians. So they have dozens of these e-scooters to get around. Now let's talk about what there is to do around the pier. We're going to talk in directions as if our back was to the terminal. Okay, to your left, they have the Ferry Plaza Farmers Market. It's open at 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 8 to 5 on Saturdays. It's closed Monday, Wednesday, or Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday. So that's pretty much all you can do down there easily. Now, if you go to your right, about a minute and a half to 2 minute walk, you're going to get to the Alcatraz ferry pickup. From there, or from here, you've got about a 5 to 7 minute walk to Pier 39. Pier 39 has a lot of shopping. They have all the sea lions. They have piers dedicated specifically for the sea lions. About 3 minute walk from there is Fisherman's Wharf. A lot of restaurants, shopping. They got an old World War II submarine that's out there. They have an arcade museum. They got a lot of gift shops. They got the Hard Rock Cafe is there. They have Applebee's. Just all kinds of stuff over there at Fisherman's Wharf. Now, from here, you're looking at a short walk to Coit Tower. Now, Coit Tower is the one tower that's, you'll see it standing by itself. It was put up there during the Great Depression as part of the New Deal. They have a lot of murals painted in there. It was built by a resident. Her last name was Coit. When she was very rich, and when she died, she wanted half of her money to go to the city for beautification projects, and that's one of the beautification projects. But very steep climb, and a lot of stairs. But when you finally make it up there, they do have an elevator to take you to the 11th floor, and you got to climb 2 floors to get to the tower top. Now, if you want to do the trolley is about 2 blocks up from Fisherman's Wharf. So it'll take you about 12 minutes to walk there. But it will go the whole length. It's $9 for one way. You can get a daily pass. So you can get on and off all you want for $15. So if you want to go down and come back up, then $15. If you're going to be here for a few days, they do have a 3-day pass. That's $45. From here, Chinatown is about a 20-minute walk. There's a cool place in Chinatown, if you want to look it up. It is a fortune cookie factory, and you can watch them make fortune cookies. There are 2 women there that can make 5,000 fortune cookies in a day. You can also have your own personalized fortune cookies made as well. It's $2 per fortune cookie to have them made. They give you a little to-go box for them. It's a pretty cool experience. Now, if you want to go drive over the Golden Gate Bridge or walk the Golden Gate Bridge, you need to get an Uber or a Lyft or something, a Waymo. It's about a 18-minute drive from here. The bridge is 1.7 miles, so you have to go from one end to the other unless you get picked up on the other side. There is a little rest area on the other side that has great views, but that's the best way to get there unless you want to walk for about 2 hours to get to it. If you want to go see Lombard Street is about a 26-minute walk from here. It's very overrated. It's very overgrown now, so you cannot see the switchbacks very well. I think they did that because a lot of the residents were complaining about the traffic and all the tourists being around there. I walked from the top down. You can see the switchbacks, but when you couldn't see them going down, and when I got to the bottom, you couldn't see them going up. So it's actually not the most crooked street in San Francisco. If you want to see the most crooked street in San Francisco, you want to go to Vermont Street. That is actually the most crooked street in the world. Now, you might be wanting to see the Painted Ladies or Alamo Square. You probably need to get an Uber or at least one of these e-scooters. It's about an hour and a half walk from here, just due to its location. But I was there. It's very nice to get a nice view of the city from there. If you want to go to Union Square is about a 26-minute walk from here. That is where all the luxury shopping is. Your Macy's, Prada, Louis, all that is in that area there. If you're looking for the Nintendo store, that is there as well. Now, from Union Square, if you go to the right side of the Macy's building, you go down about a block and a half. That's also a pickup point for the trolley. Now, if you're going to take the trolley, you can get off at the California Street stop. It's probably one of the nicest views of the city. You can see how steep the hill is. You can get a nice view of downtown. So that's another good option as well. Well, that pretty much wraps up Pier 27 and what there is to do here and what it's like to get through the pier It's really in a great location. There's so much stuff that is walkable from here. If you are coming to San Francisco, whether you're driving or coming in on a cruise or flying in and just Ubering around, check out my video on the top 10 things to do here in San Francisco. I've kind of gone over some of them here, but I've saved a few for you. To watch the video so you're not getting some redundancies. So if you have any questions about San Francisco or the pier here, put it up in the comments. I do always reply to every comment, even the crazy ones. But I will reply. And if you found this helpful, if you could just do me a quick favor, if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really help out my channel grow and be able to get more information out to more people. I appreciate you as always, and I will see you next time on our next trip.